It was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Be like
forward.
a horse with blinkers.
Honestly say, I was about to have
Corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
My name is Gerard and I live in Cape Town. And it's a beautiful place to be.
And my name is Campbell, originally from East London, moved to Cape Town last year.
I'm Jamie. I've emigrated from Zimbabwe to South Africa in 2002 and I now live in sunny Cape Town.
I'm Shaw, I'm from Cape Town, I'm 19 years old and I work in the movie industry.
My name is Ruvan van den Berg, I live in Cape Town and lived here most of my life.
Eugene van der Westhuizen, live in Stellenbosch, moved down here in 98.
Being an Afrikaner has changed, certainly in my lifetime. My father's Afrikaans, my mother was born in Rhodesia, so I was brought up in a very multilingual household. My first experience of talking Afrikaans was when I moved to Cape Town in 2002 and had to very quickly become acquainted with the language because I was thrust into a very Afrikaans community. And what I found is that the Afrikaans are a lot more forgiving of the English than the English are for the Afrikaans. We tend to make fun of them and they don't make fun of us when we cross the language barriers.
I come from a very old South African family. We arrived here in 1679. So we've got a long history in the country, but we became English at some point. Parts of the family became English, some parts of the family are still Afrikaans, and I've got a lot of Dutch influence. I think a lot of South Africans have got that mixed influence. So I wouldn't define myself as an Afrikaner, yet my roots lie in Afrikanism, I would say.
I think I'm the furthest thing from an Afrikaner, to be honest with you. Even though my mother's side of the family, originally from Rhodesia, which became Zimbabwe, I think then. But like my Oma and Opa, I mean, very Afrikaans. I mean, I could always speak the language, and even at school, it was just I never had to learn any of the rules for the past tense and the future tense and the kennende vorm and whatever. I just like knew it, and I think that's because, like I say, half my family, in a sense, is Afrikaans. But I mean, also at the same time, I look at my daughter now. She goes to school in Stellenbosch. I mean, she's as English as they come. But she'll come over and all of a sudden Afrikaans words come out here and there, and she can count to 40 in Afrikaans. You know what I mean? And like, where's this guy? Obviously Stellenbosch, I take it, is very Afrikaans. I don't know it that well. Well, that's there we go. You know, and I look at it, I think if she was back in his side, that would never happen.
If you can say something about this, Afrikaans speaking. English is taken over, alright? And me for being Afrikaans, your paperwork, everything is starting to get English, especially in work situations, which make it difficult. And okay, some people that is actually English speaking, you get a higher English, which you don't understand. How to interpret yourself when you do speak English.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I mean, the Afrikaans people, I think that, or when I say compared English to Afrikaans, I mean, I happen to have dated maybe 2 or 3 Afrikaans ladies since I've been here in Cape Town, and the conversation is only English. You know what I mean? They feel automatically that they must speak English. You know what I mean? Okay, 1 or 2 of them we had like Afrikaans Thursdays or something, and I tried my best, you know. But yeah, like I said, they're very accommodating. Conversation, whether you're out, whether you're watching me, whatever, they will make a point of addressing you in English. You know what I mean? It might not sound that great, but it sounds a lot better than me, I suppose, trying to speak Afrikaans.
Yeah.
So
To be an Afrikaner, it's quite difficult. So on the other side, it's not difficult. There's lots of English people and other people around the world, different languages. So other people from the outside, it's quite difficult for them. But our Afrikaners, we know, we are proudly South Africans.
I'm kind of with Campbell on this. Like the Afrikaans people are more likely to start speaking English because my girlfriend's like English speaking, and we speak English in the house. It's more, I don't know. It just seems easier to flip over to English and her clapping over to Afrikaans. Sometimes it's a bit of a fuck. You should check the conversations. But odd sometimes.
Try raising a multilingual 2-year-old.
I can't remember the program that was on TV actually, but there was a whole speech about Afrikaans being actually in danger not allowed to be spoken or written in certain jobs. I'm not going to mention of where I was working, okay? But in my case, yes, not allowed to write in Afrikaans. Everything must be in English. And when you speak to the people that's working with you, it must be in English. And it doesn't matter what color you are, you have to speak English. Okay, look, I don't mind. Don't mind. But I can't express myself in English as good as in Afrikaans, which is a problem.
But at very least, we have South African English. If nothing else, at least South African English is so heavily accentuated with not only Afrikaans, but all our other tribal languages as well. We all know what Yebo means, we all know what Ikona means, we all, you know, we know what Demakar means. So South African English in that aspect is at very least unique, and is something that we have that the rest of the world doesn't have.
So you use your cutlery, your fruit, your veggies, mix everything. That is how the language is. It's not supposed to be like that.
No.
But it happens. It happens. You understand? It happens.
Neologisms and colloquialisms are going to occur in any language. Certain slang words are going to appear in every language and become commonplace, like twerking. It's just the evolutionary process that languages take.
Your newer generation, all right? They hear stuff which happened secondhand, yeah, and it makes them basically negative. They don't believe in the older times. The old man. You don't know what's going on.
My parents, my grandparents' generations, all they're holding on to is that memory. And that's, in my opinion, why things are progressing so slowly in a country that has come so far. Because my generation, certainly, and hopefully not my children's generation, are heavily influenced by the generations of those who came before me. And honestly, I think that's the only reason that Afrikaans has lasted as long as it has. Because previous generations have not been willing to let go of it, not been willing to let go of that one aspect of the past that just holds them together.
Look, I'll be honest with you, as Afrikaner, there is a problem of racism. Not everybody is the same. Okay? Look, like I said, I grew up strictly, very strictly. But names have been changed. I can't really mention it. As Afrikaans words that you used to get, like a watermelon. you all know. No.
A specific kind of.
It's the other color. But okay, it doesn't matter. Names have been changed for no reason, because they say it is racism. Shouldn't be. We grew up with those names. We understand it. Now all of a sudden get a Xhosa name or something else. It's not the same thing.
I think it's got obviously a hell of a lot better. You're never going to get rid of it, as far as I'm concerned. You know, there will always be those people out there. I mean, I'll use an example. My dad, at standard 10 10 years old, standard 2, I brought home an Indian friend, and my dad kind of looked at me, not a black friend or an Indian friend, you know what I mean? But you know, you got the look kind of thing, you know, and you look at him now, and it's like it's accepted, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's the way he was brought up by his parents.
So it has changed.
You know, things have changed. I think like drastically.
My parents have changed a lot as well. They grew up in the Free State and serious Dutchman Valley. They were quite racist back in the day, but now they've actually adopted a little coloured girl, and she's been with them for like 5 years now. Lovely little girl. Bit of a handful. Yeah.
That's how times change, eh?
Yeah.
That's how times change. I mean, I'll go back to that.
You wouldn't have imagined it like back then. You wouldn't have schemed it would ever happen. But yeah, lo and behold.
But there will always be you know, there will always be those people that have still got that, like, that hold that stigma to a person of it. I mean, we've got 2 coloured ladies upstairs in our office, and we are like the best of friends at work. And we joke with each other. They were like, "Yeah, no, that whitey doesn't want to come and smoke with us." Eh? And I'd be like, "No, of course not. You know, we don't smoke with the coloureds. You know, but we can joke about it. You know what I mean? It's like fun between us and what have you. And yeah, maybe it's because of what happened in the past, and now things are better. You know, and like I say, you can laugh about it and what have you. So
I think it's got a lot to do with the way you were raised, though.
yeah,
I was raised in a very liberal family. Well, they seemed like it at the time. I was put into one of the first integrated schools in Johannesburg. And my husband, who was born and raised Afrikaans, he lived in Cape Town all his life, he remembers the day the first black student walked into his classroom.
really.
And he's, what, 29 years old? I don't remember that day. I don't remember ever having to make a distinction between colour or language or race. There wasn't anything like that for me.
Hang on, Gerard, how old are you? Hard to say that. 47. Okay, you're the oldest here. I think that you and I, we the generation that still sits with a form of guilt, because when we were just growing up, it was ending. All the good years of apartheid that they had, we didn't really have that, because we had the riots and the army years, and that's when it was all ending and there was all turmoil and stuff. If I look at my children now, they're benefiting. They're the first ones to really benefit from the new South Africa. My boys are totally oblivious to somebody's color, where we still sit with, and these guys are not going to understand that, because they're also too young. You know, they were born already into a new when clarity arrived, they were already around, you know. Whereas we were, I mean, did you do army? Yeah, I got out of it. Okay, yeah, I got out of it. So I was lucky enough just at the end just to get out of that army thing, you know. So I think that the guilt is there, but I don't feel guilty because I personally wasn't, but my family definitely, you know. I mean, obviously, every white person in this country benefited from the system, regardless of if you were verlichte or verkrampte, it doesn't matter, you know.
Main thing is choices that you make. That's where it comes in. I mean, it doesn't matter how I grew up, strict or not, it's my choice. History is history. Leave it there, please. It's a new future. We have to stand together. Okay, there is certain lines you don't cross, but still, you stand together. Now, like I said, there is lines. I'm not racist. You get good people, you get bad people. You can't judge everybody you see. That's how it works.
I've got no problem. I work with people of all races every day. But when I gather my friends around for a braai, it's not often that there's a black guy or a coloured guy at my table. Not because I've got anything against them, but because that just doesn't fit into my friend's circle. We're looking for Van's kids and my kids. Their best friends are black kids and coloured kids. So although we say it hasn't affected us and we don't remember it, and I don't know if because I missed out on the Born Free generation by one generation, that I didn't make those black friends, I didn't make those coloured friends, that people of other races and other languages aren't involved in my circle because there's still a little bit of a stigma, or whether, like Ravon says, that our kids are the first ones that are actually going to be benefiting 20 years down the line from a new South Africa.
My dream is for us to live amongst each other, happy.
My dream is to have perhaps less conflict with myself, my ex-wife, or my daughter's well-being and contact with her and all the rest of it.
My dream is basic. It's to be the best me that I can be, because I know that that's going to benefit my family, my girls, and everyone around me.
My dream is to keep everyone happy and safe.
My dream, I think, is that my boys will be able to fulfill their dreams in a country that's been able to fulfill its dream.
My dream is not to fall into the trap of having children. Ja.